LifeFight with Jermaine Andre is a positive production of RareGem Productions. For previous episodes or to get new episode updates, subscribe to the LifeFight channel hosted on the Inspiration Network of OneRareGem.com. That's OneRaregem.com for the tools you need to take on your life fight. With U.S. Martial Arts Hall of Famer, 2-time world champion, 5-time U.S. champion, UFC vet, life coach, and author, Jermaine Andre. Visit JermaineAndre.com.
Hello, everybody. Jermaine Andre. Welcome to LifeFight. I'm here with Rebecca Beck.
Hello.
And this time, we may sound a little weird to you, but that is because we have upscaled. We like the Jeffersons in this bad boy. We moved on up. We're in a TV studio. So we actually going to be releasing some video footage of Rebecca and I covering some topics today. And I think we're going to start off, maybe read a review.
All right, let's
start.
Then,
not yet.
Okay.
And then after we read the review, we've actually got some people on my Facebook page that chose a chapter they want us to read from Dealing Effectively with Idiots.
Yep.
So we're going to read that. And then after that, we're going to go over the training that Rebecca Beck is getting ready to go through for Attack Back. We're about to release this really, really grade A good program. It's taken, 20, 30 years of my life and the research from other great martial artists to create a program that fits, people, today's concerns. One of the things with today is, the martial arts is always, it's hard to learn. It takes time. It takes, patience, and that's something people don't have nowadays. Everything is zoom, zoom, zing, zang, pat, from the internet, so people's mindset is not, hey, I'm going to come and meditate and paint the fence for 3 years to learn how to defend myself. So as a martial artist and as a martial art instructor, it's my job to figure out how to create a martial art that fits modern day people. Yeah. And finally, we did it. Yeah, finally we've done it. And that's what Attack Back is. But the bad part about this is for Rebecca, because she's going to be the female instructor.
I'm used to it.
So and she's been tortured some, not enough though. So she's going to really be put through it. And we even started her training. And it's so funny because the training, this type of training, which I'm not going to get too far into it, but she learned of the intensity that I can bring in just like 1 minute and 2 minute round, where she wasn't even throwing consistent strikes, but just the frame of mind I had her brain set at, that she was like almost dead tired after just 2 minutes, and so it's pretty wild.
I almost cried in a couple of rounds too.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's because so much emotion was big. But that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to start. First of all, I'm going to let you. You want to start with the review, or you want to start with the?
Let's start with one of our reviews.
Yep. Okay.
They said, "So cool to welcome this show to the world. I love what Jermaine and Rebecca bring to the table. Who knew he'd be so friendly when he could literally knock us across the room? Fact is, he truly cares, and it shines in this show. Funny, too. Can't wait to learn more."
Awesome.
Yep.
Right on.
Good review.
And that's important, too. You hear her say about the fear bit. Yeah. Because that's something, that's a challenge. It's a life challenge. You know what I'm saying? It's not something like I said, and if you go back to the first, I think that was the first or second podcast when we started, we talk about fear, and people spend their lives trying how to learn not to be afraid of something. Yeah. Well, I'm scared of spiders, so okay, now I'm going to learn not to be afraid of a spider. Yeah, but here comes a snake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's better for us to learn how to just handle being afraid.
Right.
Fear is coming. It's coming. It's going to come get you. So that's good that she's admitting to and picking up on how important that is. Because once you learn how to deal with fear and how to handle being afraid, then you can always have a productive response, especially when you're afraid. And that's the thing. I always tell people this: when you're afraid, that means something good is happening. Something of value is happening. This is an opportunity. Right. Even if it's something that's making you afraid, that's bad, that's happening, but this is a test for your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the main thing you're trying to build and trying to grow. And if you look at it like that, like I always say, I always lay in my bed and I open my eyes and look and say, man, I imagine the worst creature I could, with razor sharp claws and teeth standing in the doorway, and he's so big that he like make me look like a little mouse. And I'm saying, let's go. Yeah. And I jump up and say, one thing I'm not going to be is afraid of you. No matter what happens to me, you're going to say, man, what was that little thing, after you tear me apart? That little thing wasn't even scared of me. It's kind of like you think of like you can go up to a certain bug, like a spider or something, and it'll run at you. Yeah. And everybody, they go running off. It's like, you like 10 billion times its size, but we look on this little spider and we want to step on the crust. Ugh, gross. This thing is not afraid of something that's 10 billion times its size.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, that's why you don't see me like stepping on spiders and stuff like that. Because I'm like, you're less afraid of me than, can you teach me?
I was going to say, you talk to spiders. So.
I try to. I'm trying to get them to train me to be like that. Or think about bees. You disturb their home and they all come after you and they will die just to sting you.
Yeah. They
don't know they're going to kill you. They give their life just to sting you. So they have like no fear. So you look at these little bitty things and say, they're all operating out there, with no fear, man. Can you, I wish like bees and like ants and like spider open a martial arts school that I could go to. I could be in there getting trained by them on how to not be afraid. So, but that's really good that she picked up on that.
Good review.
I put up on my Facebook, we always are looking for reviews. We're always looking for questions. You can go on iTunes, and leave your reviews there for us. We'll read them on the air. Always remember that. Also, if you got questions you want to ask, go to our Facebook page. You go to Rebecca's Facebook page. You
Absolutely.
Go to my Facebook page. Ask any kind of question that you want to ask. We won't get mad at you.
Yes, we want the challenge. So
yeah, we love challenges. Remember that. So always ask any kind of question you can ask. And that's the thing. Also, you'll see me post stuff like I posted for everybody to pick from dealing effectively with idiots. I put the table of contents up, and I had people choose what they wanted me to cover, and she's going to read that I'm going to elaborate on this some. So always remember, go to my Facebook page and engage, man. I'm telling you, you never know what you can ask me, and you never know how I'm going to answer. Remember, they cannot kick me off the air because this is not a radio station. So I say what I want. You know what I'm saying? We always keep it clean, but I'll cover topics that people, don't like and stuff like that. And I love to especially cover things that even I may not like. I'm always looking for that person that can prove me wrong, because that's going to make me mad. Because like I said, I hate being wrong, so I'm going to straighten myself up real fast when you prove it. So, but
which one was picked?
They picked the annoying coworker.
The annoying coworker.
The annoying coworker. Yeah.
Okay. The annoying coworker. Objective: to find ways to entertain themselves at work through other means besides doing their job. This may lead to their constant interruption of you while you're trying to do yours. Counter technique: inform him. You only said him or her, that you've been told by a superior that if you don't stay on top of your job, you are going to be immediately fired. You can also pretend to be on the phone whenever this idiot chooses to disrupt your day. If all else fails, chew on some garlic before your next encounter with him or her, and be sure to laugh as much as possible while breathing heavily in his direction. Be sure to keep a pack of gum or mints readily available for when you come in contact with people who you do not want to socialize with. You're so interesting.
Look, I'm trying to give you effective stuff that works. Let me see it real quick. Because the thing is, like you say, the annoying coworker. When you think about, you always have to know, whenever you're trying to defeat somebody, you got to understand their intention first. Mm-hmm. All right, what is this person trying to accomplish? Because once they can't accomplish what they're trying to accomplish, then that's when you shut down that behavior. Mm-hmm. So the annoying coworker, you say, okay, why are they being annoying? And it's usually because they ain't got enough work to do, or they ain't doing their work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they're doing their work, they're going to be doing their job. They won't be running around annoying you and trying to do stuff. Their mind is on entertaining, and getting attention instead of on getting their job done. Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing. And that's where I say, if you always put it to the boss. Like that's what I teach you guys a lot. When it comes to an answer you can't give, make me the bad guy.
Right.
Make Jermaine Andre the bad guy. So that's the thing is here is when I say the boss is on you, then you have a reason. That's kind of a passive way of doing it. Some people don't want to be mean, so that's a passive way. Man, look, I can't talk to you. I can't hang out with you because I'm going to get fired and lose my job. Mm-hmm. And usually they'll respond to that. The next one, pretend like you're on the phone. That's always a good one. As soon as you see them come, pick the phone up. Hey, just say, John, you hang on a second. I gotta get, and get back on the phone,
right.
And then you don't even have to deal with it, But of course, my last strategy there, chew on some garlic. Look, this is a really good one. Now, the only thing is this is kind of like open firing into a crowd with AK-47. You're going to hit some innocent people because your breath's going to be stinking, and it's going to be stinking bad. But this is the cool thing is I get this strategy from Ron Smith's one of his best friends. Actually, his name's Ike. He's a promoter, mm-hmm. and he's the one who actually took me to fight in Japan. He's connected over there with, big time connected. But when he fought, he used to eat garlic right before his fight because then you got to imagine when you're fighting, you're together and you close like this, you own each other. He's breathing. He's breathing that. I just ate a mint too, so she's safe. But you breathing that breath. And he's sitting there trying to breathe. You got him choking the whole time. So that's where I got the idea from, because the annoying coworker is your opponent, because he's obviously working against you and what you're trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So you eat that garlic, and now what you've done, instead of just you've turned things where before you wanted to be away from him, now you've made him want to be away from you. And that's perfect. Yep. That's the best way. Now you don't have to avoid him because he's going to avoid you. So now that's the way it can work. But like I said, you got to have some breath mints, because then if the boss come up or somebody important and you sitting there smelling like that, your breath smelling like Oscar the Grouch, then it's game over for you. So.
Plus, it's good for your system. It detoxifies you. So.
Yeah, it cleans you out. So it's a good thing to do. Now we're going to go over attack back. And I'm not going to give away too much of the formula, because you know what? Let me do this too. Let me go back real quick back to dealing effectively with idiots. Listeners, this is really important. If you need a strategy on how to deal with an annoying coworker, it's probably not going to be a good idea to use what I just told you. If they're a listener too, because then they're going to know, like if you go back to work and you using the phone and pretending and doing all this stuff and to one of your coworkers every time they approach you and they listen to LifeFight, or like y'all all listening right now in the office, because I know there are some people who put me on in the office and everybody, you can't use this now, all right? Because they're going to know. They're going to be like, hold on, man, what's up with the garlic officer? Why you pretending that you're on the phone? You know what I'm saying? So see, I got to show you how to protect yourself, because now they know your strategy. That's like me saying, I'm going to teach you this dope martial art move, and then I teach it to you, but then there's the person you get ready to fight is right there in the room watching on the couch. Yeah. And you go in and try to use it, and he blocking and tear you up. So if you need something new, hit me on my Facebook page. Just message me. Don't hit me on the front, because they probably watching that too. And I'll give you a new strategy. Okay, we'll have a consultation, and this is just like getting training from me, and we'll get you straightened out for that. So I had to cover that.
I understand. Yeah.
But like I was saying, I'm not going to give away too much of our formula, because there's some smart people out there who are probably trying to steal my strategies, which, I don't blame them, So, but I will cover that the most important, you got 9 phases.
Can you let everybody know, too, what's attack back? Isn't attack back, are you talking about attack back?
Can you let them know?
Are you talking about attack back training, or are we talking about, what are we talking about today?
That's good you said that. We know some of you are familiar with attack back. Attack back is our online self-defense training and information site that's free. Yeah. You get free self-defense lessons. We do grab escapes on there. I gave you some knife defense on there, what to do against somebody with a knife. We got women's self-defense on there that you do. We've actually going to have police officers on there giving information, some bodyguards, bouncers. So it's in the beginning stage, but it's all about protecting yourself, preparedness, awareness, and self-defense. Yep. So that's the start of it. But what we've got now, we've got an actual attack back training program, a self-defense program that that people can do. Yeah. And so that's what I'm talking about right now, is the actual training where you come, and actually myself and Rebecca will train you. This is for ages, teens? Like 16 to 16 all the way up to adults. Really good for workers, for real estate people. Right now we just had everybody know the last podcast we talked about the teenage couple that's getting ready to travel. College students, anybody. This is really good for anybody to do. So that's what I'm covering now, is this actual program, and the way that it operates. But there's actually 3 phases, not 9 phases, 3 phases and 9 classes. Okay, and this is the stuff that Rebecca's going to be getting trained for. And what she's going to be going through is going to be 3 times worse than what anybody else will go through. Thanks. So I got to take it to the extreme, so you can assure that she knows what she's doing, for 1. And then for 2, so she can make sure to push you also. So this is going to be, we're going to have her locked and loaded. So she's going to be real good for the ladies, for training you guys. Phase 1 is going to be on awareness and grab escapes. You have to be aware. I even actually have a piece that I'm writing now that's called Jermaine Andre's, I don't know how many yet, because I've got 22 strategies to never have to defend yourself. Because, you notice that... You mean physically defend yourself? Yeah, and you have to use self-defense. If you notice, I don't ever have to use self-defense. I don't think I've ever... when I was a kid, I did. And that's just, neighborhood fights and things, stuff like that. But as a adult, I've never had to use self-defense, because my awareness is so strong. Now, I've had tons of fights as an adult, being a bodyguard and a bouncer, but that was because I was engaging in those situations. Mm-hmm. But my awareness and my preparedness is so strong that I don't get put in those situations. I know I put a Facebook up. I think it was or the picture of you and I sitting at Ballpark Village, which if you have not been to Ballpark Village, you need to go. St. Louis, that's one of the most greatest places.
It's a great place.
And I did not get paid for that advertising. I'm trying to tell you, that is I don't go downtown. Now I go all the time. That place is incredible. But it was a picture, and I said, everybody have a last look at Rebecca looking nice because did she get ready to start training to get destroyed? But somebody went on, they said, well, what would you do if
we were in the alley?
Yeah, if you and her walked down the alley, and there was, he really loaded this scenario up. He said, and there was, 5 girls with baseball bats and 3 dudes with knives, and they were coming from both sides. And I said, well, we would never be in a situation like that. I said, I plan and prepare everything. Every move we make is important because you can make one, like I tell everybody, you spend your whole life building your life, and you can make one mistake that destroys everything you built. Yeah. So every step we take, I've planned and prepared, or I monitor, or I run recon, or when we're stepping into something new, all the satellites up, it's on high alert. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I said to him. I said, we would never put ourselves in that type of position. I said, and if we were in a situation where that could happen, we'd be so locked and loaded that when we got back to back, it'd be like, I said, it'd be like the finale that for the 4th of July down there at Fair St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's going to be on because if you got 8 people coming after you, you're in a hell of a situation. Either you doing something, you know what I'm saying, or you're somewhere that you probably shouldn't even be. Because that's one thing I'm always careful of, is trying to make sure that we're not somewhere that we shouldn't be. Knowing the tone and the environment. But
even though you always say you want to use your self-defense, so why don't you drop your awareness so that you can have to use your self-defense? Well,
this is the thing. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I'm with that.
You say you're always looking for it and ready for it.
I am ready for it, but I don't want to get cursed by the spirit of the martial arts. By lowering my awareness, and I might get caught tripping. Just because you're good, don't mean you're gonna always win. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. I could be Hong Kong Fu and tearing everybody up, and then slip on a bottle. A trip over a cord or something like that. And bam, and then now everybody on top. I'm getting towed up. Here comes some kid with his camera, recording it. World champ getting beat up, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And it might go viral.
Well, we might need to do that. There might be people would get some great listeners on the podcast. Man, see, we got to start thinking of stuff. But, okay, getting back to Attack Back before we get on something else like we always do. Like I said, the most important thing is, awareness and grab escapes. One of the things when you start training people in self-defense, a lot of people always want to come in hitting. When it's just like our martial art class, everybody, you got to start off with using this first. That this is the most important part of self-defense. Yeah. And that's one of the things people go, like you get people go to a cardio kickboxing class and they think this is self-defense they're learning. And it's like, no, most self-defense starts here because you got to be aware and ready and prepared or you ain't going to even be able to fight. If you're going into, a biker bar and you're wearing high heels and there's trouble there. Every night they have a riot in there but that's where you want to go and that's where you hang out. You can go where you want to go. That's where you hang out and you go in there with high heels and a tight miniskirt on. Well, you wasn't even prepared, so your cardio kickboxing ain't going to even work because you can't even take a stance. Right. So you still have to have a sense of awareness so you can know that, okay, this is what's going on. This is what could possibly happen. Right. So that's the first thing that we cover in there is teaching them about awareness and grab escapes. And like I say, one of the main things about being grabbed is grabs are used to kidnap people, and they're also the beginning of abuse. Yeah. In relationships, it starts off with just a grab, then it becomes a push, then it becomes a slap, and that's why I teach the girls. If you got these teenage girls who got boyfriends, stuff like that, and nowadays I don't know if boys are even getting taught how to treat women. Because that's, sexism. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't sue me, everybody. But that's sexism. You hold the door for me. I'll be afraid sometimes to open the door for me. Here you go, man. Right. What are you holding the door for me? I can hold it myself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah. So there's so much confusion amongst teens of the equality of men and women that it's almost a crime to admit to the difference. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not even if you're not trying to say men are better than women or women better than men, but even saying that we're different creatures. Right. Sometimes you get in trouble with that. So I think all these teen boys are confused that I'm supposed to treat a girl like a guy. Right. If a girl smacked me, I punch her in her face. Because if a guy smacked me, I'm going to punch him in his face. So I think when they get in their relationships, a grab is nothing to grab your girlfriend. But that's where if the girl knows, grab you and you know how to get loose, and then that kind of resets thing where, oh, whoa, How did she get out of that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least shuts it down, and it creates a little interruption. So that's really good for relationships, and it also is good for kidnappers. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of kidnaps happen. They just grab them by the wrist, threaten them, and drag them off.
Yeah.
And they just don't get loose, don't fight back. But the most important thing about grab escape is sometimes you're not ready to fight. And I mean, we all watch TV, we all watch movies, we all think we're going to, respond like Jason Statham or Bruce Lee and all this, because that bit TV, Hollywood builds a fantasy in our head. That's why we like to watch it, because we like to try to relate it to our lives. So we sit and watch, all these kung fu movies, karate movies, and then we say, yeah, if somebody try to do something to me, I'm going to do that. But that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
Everybody, when something out of the ordinary happens and it's a strong impact, our brain automatically goes into shock, fear shock. So this is what happens. We go into this fear shock, and now you don't want to fight. You're afraid to be aggressive because your stomach feels sour. You feel your legs go numb, like you can barely move. Your body's cold, but something simple like what you just did, that's a passive escape.
Right.
So now you just did that, and that may be enough for him to back off.
And for you to run, yeah.
And for you to get away. Because that's what self-defense is about. It's about escape.
Yeah.
It's not about standing there and trying to beat somebody down.
Right.
So awareness and grab escapes is the first thing we go through. Stance and footwork is the next. Learning how to stand, learn how to control your feet, because your footwork puts you in position to hit somebody, and it also takes you out of position if you're getting attacked and getting hurt. So that's really important. And then blocking and defense strikes. And like I said, that's something that people don't really want to learn. It's not fun.
Yeah, blocking.
Yeah, blocking is boring.
Yeah.
Like I said, you go to the
Actually,
gym.
that's one of my favorite parts of training. I like blocking.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's because you understand.
Well, I understand it.
You understand the
That's true.
importance of it. But this is what happens. Like I said, you can go to our gym doing an open gym day or anything. Anytime I tell everybody go ahead and do what you want. You don't see anybody working blocking.
Yeah.
Everybody on the bag. Bah, bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you want to hear that noise and impact. You want that excitement. But the most important thing is when this big dude throw a punch at you, what are you going to do? You got to know how to block. So.
Right.
In phase one, that's the kind of stuff that we go through. In phase two, and this is really, really important, like you heard me talk about how the brain goes into shock. Fear, shock, reaction, mental programming. So I've got a way, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to come learn. But I have a way. What I do is I practice putting you in a shock and teach you to respond.
Yeah.
When you're in that shock, and that's the one. Maybe
I think that's the one where I almost cried. Yeah, because I was really I felt like I really was lost, like I didn't know what I was doing, and that was like a really emotional state. So.
Right. Well, and that's what it did, and that was the whole idea of that.
Yeah.
Was to tap into that part of your brain where you feel lost and afraid for that moment, because that's what happens, and that's what I always try to bring to the listeners in self-defense, that through my experience as a fighter and a bodyguard and a security person, there's always fear there. I know everybody, especially when you look at us as fighters, you think, oh man, they're machines. They're not afraid. But we're human beings. We have feelings. You can take my soul and put me in a little bitty guy, and that's still Jermaine Andre. And you wouldn't look at me and say, oh man, he's a monster, he's a beast. So I just happen to build my body this way, and then that's my craft. But there's ways we deal with that fear, and then we deal with that shock. So through my experiences of knowing these feelings and what I did to shut those emotions of shock down, that's what I try to pass on to the listeners and to my students, through this attack back training. So I figured a way to create that shock, that immediate shock in you, where you're afraid, bah, and then it's boom, and I'm making you move. So that's building it in your brain, almost like training the military. Where when the shot's fired, everybody gets down, and then you get up and you start doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Instead of going, oh my goodness, and hitting and hide behind your bag. But that's exactly what that was.
Yeah,
that was the one.
Yep.
Yeah, when you were you almost broke down emotionally because it was so much emotion there. But this is the thing too. This is, like I told you, the difference also was with you. You were so into it.
Yeah, I was into it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you were into it.
Well, I was trying to pretend like I was in a situation, so when you were training me, I was really trying to be there with it.
Yeah, you hitting hard, man. You hit somebody like that, they're going to be messed up. But that's the one of the next things that we are. And then intense defense technique training is teaching them to maintain their composure to fight back tired. And that you really remember important. The drill I put you in, like we can put everybody in our Muay Thai class, kickboxing class, and it's an hour and a half long, and at the end you'll see some people who ain't even sweating. Well, I always say you get out what you put in, but you can start the class off and you can see some guys who are real serious or some girls who are real serious. And in the first 15 minutes, they drenched with sweat over there sucking on a water bottle.
Yeah.
And then the ones at the end who aren't tired, they'll feel like, well, man, this one didn't do nothing. He must be out of shape. But it's like, no, they're not out of shape. They were over there exploding the whole time, exploding. So what I do with the intense defense technique training is when you get in a self-defense situation, it's not going to be an hour and a half long. You don't have time to stretch it out like that. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make in their self-defense training is they may think that because they're doing a kickboxing class or a grappling class or a judo class, martial art class that lasts 2 hours, that they're learning good self-defense. And that's not saying that you're not learning good techniques to use immediately.
Right.
What I mean by that, if, let's say I'm taking judo and I get real good at judo, and then somebody runs up on me and I hip toss him, hits the ground, it worked. But what happens when this guy I run into is a college state wrestler?
Yeah.
You're not going to throw him like that. So not a contact's made, but this isn't a classroom where you got your instructor saying, everybody take it easy, don't hurt each other, and you're my friend. And we're just working together. We're working hard, but we're just working together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. The difference is that it's going to be boom, adrenaline's going, heart rate skyrockets. When that adrenaline releases, man, it poisons your muscles. You get so much time to use it, and then it poisons your muscle. We experienced that in the fight game, especially in the beginning of our fight careers. And then, of course, in bodyguard work, when something happens and things are getting ready to get violent and you got to respond immediately.
What poisons your muscles?
When adrenaline and everything hits, it gives you our body has a natural reaction when we're afraid. It's kind of like nitrous in a car. You get this superhuman power. Your eyeballs widen. Yeah. Your pupils open up. All your senses go. People don't know your senses get strong. Like you hear the stories of the women who a telephone pole fell in their car and the kid was in there and they lifted it off and they said that's impossible.
Right.
You can't. But it only lasts so long. Because our muscles fill up with lactic acid. So then that's why you're drained. So that's what happens in a self-defense situation. That's why. A self-defense situation, you ever see guys get into fights in a bar or something like that or on the streets, it only lasts for about a minute and a half and they both, you had enough? What about you? You want some more? And everybody like, shut up and fight. And they're actually saying, dude, you want to stop? That's what they mean when they're saying that, So what I'm bringing to everybody is that, look, you don't have to come and train for all this long time and be in a long martial art class to get the true feeling of what it's going to be like in a self-defense situation. Because it's going to be different. Yeah. So that the intense defense technique training brings that intense boom where I'm going to wear you out 1 minute. And that's what, remember we did that together. And you're going to be like dead tired. Yeah. But I'm going to show you how to fight back. And now you're going to be used to that. So if you get in a self-defense situation and like I said, you're a judo player and you go to try and throw this guy and he drops his hips because he's a college state wrestler, you ain't going to throw him. Now he's grabbing you and trying to get you to the ground, and now you're going, because your adrenaline went up because you just got afraid. Oh, my God, the throw didn't work. What am I going to do? Panic. Boom. Your body wants to go back to, its primitive. Your mind wants to go back to its primitive state, of respond like an animal. Remember I said our intelligence drops. It makes us dumb so we can go, and just start clawing and bite, you know what I'm saying? But we as humans, we don't want to do that because when we think, we can respond better. Right. So now he's tired and, but now he's got to use something different. But that's what that does, the training I put you through. Now you're tired. That's how you're going to feel when you're in an attack, you're not winning. But now he's used to that feeling. Or let's say you, for instance, when I put you through, you're used to that feeling. So when you feel that and your lungs are burning and you feel like, oh, my God, what's happening? You say, wait a minute, I'm used to this. And you know what? I can do this when I feel like that. So that's where you create the animal.
So you could put anybody through this training, whether they're in shape or not in shape?
Exactly. And that's a really, really good question because it's not about being in shape when it comes to self-defense. Right. It's about being able to fight when you're tired. Now, of course, if you get, like if I go out and I attack somebody, you know what I'm saying, and he's an out-of-shape guy, I'm probably going to win. No, I wouldn't. Well, you give me a good reason. Somebody smack my daughter. Well, I might shake his hand smacking her. Who knows what she did. No, I'm just kidding. But somebody do something and give me a reason. But you still not come after him. Then I'm in shape and I know what I'm doing. I'm using footwork and baiting them and tiring them down. Then, of course, fitness will matter. Right. And if I go and attack, another MMA fighter, who's on my level, and then we're both here, and now I'm going to tire down. So now we're both getting tired, and we got to just figure out who's going to be the best. But makes sense. In a self-defense situation, it's about this type of situation, this type of training is about teaching the person or, teaching you how to fight back when you're tired, fighting tired. Because with fighters, professional athletes, we get tired in the fight. We don't get super tired like the fatigue I'm talking about until like in MMA, let's say MMA, until the third round. You know, we're doing 5-minute rounds. Third round, we come out, we're dead, man.
Yeah.
So we're fighting, we're in this frame of mind where we're using these techniques and we're doing this type and we're pushing ourselves. So what I'm doing is I'm taking you to that in 1 minute because a self-defense situation, a street fight ain't gonna last that long. So it don't matter if you're in shape because the whole idea is I'm getting you tired. When I make you tired and then I give you the techniques you're supposed to use from there. So, but I think I've said too much. So all you guys out there from other martial arts schools that's got an ink pen now, stop. Quit stealing my stuff. I'm just kidding. All right, look, if it helps somebody, that's all that matters. We know that. Absolutely. Even though we compete and everything like that, still we always anything when it comes to self-defense that I can give, that you can give to somebody to help them, then that's better than nothing. So, for sure. The next thing is defense strikes with blocks, because that's something also that's really important. And we're gonna demonstrate, because it's something. I'll tell you what, I won't make you demonstrate the fatigue part. I won't work you out.
I'm up for anything. It's okay.
Yeah, but we are going to have Rebecca demonstrate some defense strikes with blocks, because that's something you got to learn too. Like I said, a lot of people go and they train, and it's all about hitting. It's not about blocking, or it's about blocking, but it's not about blocking and hitting. To shut a person down, you got to block and then, boom, hit them back. You can't just be their punching bag either and have great blocks, or think you're going to run up and start swinging, or you miss, or they swing first and you got no blocks. So that's the other thing, is once they know their blocks, they know their strikes, then we're going to show them how to put it together so they can block effectively and strike back. With some, and the best blocks, that come into martial arts come from MMA. If you, and that's, my perfect opinion, because we bang it out and we have great ways of covering ourselves. And actually, the best blocks in MMA actually stem from Muay Thai. Yeah. Muay Thai kickbox has got as far as covering, it's got the best protection that I know, from my martial art experience. Yeah, and it's easy to learn. And the reason why is because it simulates the simple moves that we make in life. If I swing a baseball bat at you, there's a movement you make, you do this. Where Muay Thai, we just turn into this and being, forward and brave with it instead of, being a chicken with it. So it's really good. But we're going to demonstrate. We're definitely going to demonstrate some of that.
I'm excited. I'm ready to do it.
All right. As promised, quick demonstration of some techniques you can use. Let's do attack back smack. One more. All right. So there's one of our techniques that we use. Now, something else, like I said, I talked about grabs and being grabbed, how important it is to be able to get loose. And you see, that's a really good one. Those work so good that one time in a demonstration on the news, I was grabbing her so hard that I fractured her wrist.
Yes, you did.
But she was still escaping and getting it loose, but I was demonstrating it worked so good that she's making me mad because she was getting loose so easy that I'm grabbing her hard and, it fractured her little wrist. So, y'all got to really give it up for her because she always goes through a lot. And this is where I talk about, where we say about the programming that brain for shock. It's going to take about 2 seconds. All right, Rebecca, you're going to stand there with our eyes closed. Face the camera. And then what I'm doing, you're going to see what's happening here. All right, so there's some things, that everybody that you guys can take, that you can get started on defending yourself. Everything we're showing you can use. Of course, that doesn't mean you got it. Get with us if you really want to get the actual 100% training and get, like I said, we don't train people, we program you. And that's what it's about. Your brain is, I am your Morpheus, when it comes to self-defense. And this is the matrix. And you're going to put in, I need the program, the operating manual for C24. And I got you. You get an operating manual for self-defense from me. Remember, reviews. We love them.
Questions.
Yep, questions. We want all that stuff. So feel free to send it to us. And just so you know, too, there's also at the end of the attack back training, we do defense tools, and I also train you in different places. Like we train people in your car. If somebody's attacking you in the car, we have techniques that you can use for being attacked in your vehicle or somebody trying to throw you in your car. So we take it all the way. This is modern for modern today stuff. It's not just wearing a gi in a dojo and using techniques that were created 1,000 years ago. This is for stuff that's needed today, because this is a modern society. So this is the modern self-defense stuff that we have. But Jermaine Andre and Rebecca Beck,
take care.
Signing off from LifeFight. Everybody remember, now we're in your corner. So listen to us next time. Thanks.
For all things Jermaine Andre, get books, get trained. Learn the secrets behind his brawn, his brain, and his edge. Visit JermaineAndre.com. Life Fight with Jermaine Andre is another positive production of RareGem Productions. Thanks for listening.